Hi folks, it's Jonathan here, Spiritual Speakeasy. Crikey. I can't remember the last time I did a Spiritual Speakeasy actually. A lot's been going on, lots and lots has been going on, and lots going on in the spirit realms, cosmic realms, in the whole of planet Earth realms, and also in my own personal life as well. I decided a few weeks ago that it would be a good idea to black out and fall into the banister rail headlong. Caused me quite a bit of discomfort. I'm pleased to say that I'm not too badly bruised. Well, I was actually. I've cleared up a lot now. So thank you so much to everybody who sent me well wishes, healing energy, and some lovely little arnica pills as well, which did me the world of good because I did actually look a little bit like a tram wreck, really. So thank you, folks. You've been absolutely amazing. I absolutely send my gratitude out to each and every one of you for that. So here I am. I've got the t-shirt on today. It's July the 18th, 2021, and it's quite warm outside. I would probably say we hit at about 28, 29 degrees today, which for the UK is global warming. Yes, folks, global warming is actually happening. It's happening right now, and it has been for the last few days in the UK. So do we class that as proof that global warming exists? I don't think so. Anyway, that's not the subject for today's Spiritual Speakeasy. What I would like to talk about is what's been going on behind the scenes, because I love it. I absolutely love it, you know. We see the world as it is. There is so much going on there, and protests all over the place. People now kind of realizing the truth more and more. There's more and more truth coming out every single day. I've seen some fantastic video clips recently with some amazing evidence now coming out, which really would truly stand up in a court of law. Now, the only problem we have, folks, with standing up in a court of law is the law and the courts are controlled by the system, by the establishment. And so the questions are coming out now. How can we actually stand up against the system using the system's methods? And that's a really, really good question. I don't have the answer to that, other than, why don't we create our own law? Why don't we, the people, create our own law and stop recognizing the system's law? There is a law available. It's called common law. I am not an expert on that by any means. I learn a little bit about it. I find it fascinating that our law got hijacked by a thing called maritime law. But there's also divine law as well. And divine law encompasses everything. And there is not such a thing as a divine policeman or an enforcer of that law. Whatever religion might tell you, we are all part of the source of love. And the source of love knows no boundaries. We only set ourselves boundaries when we are existing in physical form. In our divine form, there is no boundaries. There is no rules. There's no one telling you what to do. We are perfect divine light. Anyway, so I'm just throwing that thought out there, folks, that if we cannot fight the system, got a bit of an itch on my nose there. If we cannot fight the system with the system, then let's remove ourselves from the system and create our own environment. The thought goes out there. So, interesting little things been happening, many things. One is people are really feeling the energies right now. People are struggling physically, emotionally, and mentally. And I've been feeling this, particularly after my little accident. I know that's recuperation and recovery, but I also know that there's a lot of energy stuff going on right now, and other people are feeling it too. And thankfully, they have not been kind of throwing themselves at banisters. So I don't recommend it. Honestly, I don't recommend it. I've still got this problem with my neck. Now I've got the access to lovely therapists who work at our spiritual centre, our wellbeing centre, and I am getting myself slowly booked in to get sorted out. But that aside, I want to talk about what's going on right now. And something came to me the other night. Myself and my wife, Anne, were having a lovely discussion. And it was actually while watching The Matrix. What an amazing film. If you've never seen The Matrix, folks, please do yourself a favour and watch that film. I would call it more of a film of prophecy, really. You'll understand what I mean when you do sit down to watch that. And if you have watched it, watch it again, because every time I watch it, I see something different. And it's very, very relevant for the times. But many people who are spiritually minded, working with energies, working with the frequencies, will know that they are here on a mission. And for those who are going through that awakening process, they are awakening to that fact that they are on a mission. We are here in these times to do a job. But we can get frustrated, very frustrated sometimes, because we feel as though we are ready now to do that job that we came here to do. And much of that is healing, is for the healing purpose of humanity. However, times are such that just yet the system has not broken down enough for that to happen. The system has got to break down further. There is still way too much control in this world for us to fulfill our chosen pathways. But it doesn't stop the frustration being there. We're kind of ready to go. We want to go now. We're ready for it. We're ready for it. Now, I was told a couple of nights ago, watching The Matrix, that actually, no, we're not ready for it. You might feel as though you are, but you're not. And the reason being, excuse me, folks, while I pull my chair up a little bit, I also need a quick slurp of coffee. Yeah, it's coffee. I've been told that we're not ready for it. We've still got to wait a little bit longer. How much longer can we be patient? Please. As long as it takes. As long as it is needed. And the reason being is that our divine spirit knows what is to come. Our divine spirit knows. And this is the part of us, folks, that has that knowing that we keep talking about, that you might hear people talk about when they say, well, I can't prove it to you, but I know this to be the case. The reason that we know this is to be the case is because we are in connection with our divine spirit, and we feel the love and energy and the desire to want to go forward and fulfill our tasks here on earth. However, there's always a but or a however, isn't there? However, the physical body is not quite ready. The divine body is absolutely up for everything, champing at the bit. But the physical body has not quite got there. It's not quite got to the frequency that it needs to be at for us to fulfill our divine purpose. So what's happening around us, folks, is the Earth is ramping up its frequency. The cosmos is ramping up its frequency. And good old humanity is here with its divine purpose, but just needs that little bit of tweaking to begin to harmonize with those frequencies. And we are just not quite in harmony or in tune yet with the frequencies required to fulfill our purpose. I hope I'm making sense. But our DNA is changing. Our whole being is changing. Physical being is changing. We are having symptoms of the awakening. And we are feeling tired, weary, fatigued, emotional, physical pain, mental distress, anxieties. The list goes on. And it's a very, very long list, and it's kind of going off into the distance for me right now and for many other people. So know that our divine spirit is guiding us. It gives us that knowing, and that all of creation right now is working with us to bring this amazing ascension around. It's quite incredible. Little signs happening. As a medium, I see what I call spirit lights. I call them spirit lights. Some of them are spirit entity. Some of them, to me, is more of a dimensional revelation, a little bit like the Matrix. When Neo begins to see the world for what it is, sees it in the code form of the computer. So we begin to see lots of different light anomalies going on around us, hearing things, feeling things. We are beginning to connect with the absolute acute divine transmitters and receivers of information that we are. We're beginning to break down the construct of this illusory reality. And that will manifest itself in many ways. People are now connecting very much so with their psychic abilities. The earth is changing its vibration, the frequencies. Everything is happening. And one little interesting story I would like to tell you is that the night after I had my little accident, I was sitting at home. It was the Wednesday evening, sitting at home, and my wife had been out to do a Reiki share at our wellbeing centre, getting all these lovely Reiki people together to do some healing on each other and on everybody else, doing distant healing. And as part of that healing night, I was also the recipient of a little bit of distant healing, and I had terrible pains in my neck with whiplash and down my back into my spine. And by the time that Anne returned home, that had gone, and she was telling me how much healing had been sent out to me. We have a little distant healing group on social media called the Distant Healing Group, where people can just leave a comment and ask for healing. So if you do need that, check out that group, folks, called the Distant Healing Group. And we will send healing to wherever it is needed, to whomever it is needed, regardless. And Anne came in and looked round the living room door with a mouth a little bit like that. And she hasn't got a beard, by the way. A little bit like that. And I said, "What's up?" She says, "I have never in my whole life experienced the healing energy that I've done tonight. She said the power of healing in that room had gone off the scale. And it wasn't just her, it was everybody in that room who was having a conscious, collective experience of this healing energy. They've been telling us for years, folks, about this. They've been telling us for years. And I mentioned in previous speakeasies about the barrier that was put up around the earth to block the love and divine energy, which was taken away from us beginning on the 21st of December 2020. And that divine love and energy would begin to grow and manifest itself. Well, I tell you what, we're seeing that. We are seeing that in the field that we work in, not literally in a field, although I do walk across fields quite a lot. I used to work in fields all the time because I was a farmer. But, sorry. What I want to say is that the signs are there. You've only got to look for them, be aware of them, become conscious of things around you, conscious of the changes. Look at the people now that are out there. Look at the people that are pushing now, pushing for change, pushing for this. Go back 12 months. Go back 12 months, a little bit longer than that, and very small dribs and drabs. But now it's becoming more like a tidal wave. And it's amazing to witness. So be aware of the signs. Be aware that somebody somewhere has got our backs. Yeah, we've got our backs through the divine spirit, but we're also being helped, folks. We're receiving assistance right now. And whatever projection of reality you want to put out there, whether it be an Orwellian nightmare or a utopian dream, be mindful of that. Be mindful of what projecting, yeah? Thoughts are living things, and we talked about that in the power of thought, where I had to employ my little tinfoil hat. But seriously big things are now happening. You know, not to make light of this subject, although we've got to keep the sense of humour. We've got to keep laughing. We've got to keep bringing that joy into our lives. But seriously, folks, the earth is now saying to us, right, come on, this is it now. Push, 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 push. Not with force, not with anger, not with the intent to harm, but with love and with healing. And when you combine your spirit energy with that energy, you will begin to see some amazing things taking place. Today I've seen a report, I don't know how true it is, of the protests in France and the police standing down and clapping the protesters. I have known all along that until the police, the forces that are employed to control us, there's a big common law question in there, by the way, in what I've just said, because the police are there to serve and protect us. However, at some point in our recent history, that seems to have changed. It seems to be more of a case of they are there to protect our controllers. You know, the bad robots that I've spoken about. Well, when I see signs of them realising this and understanding that we are the people, we are the people, we are the ones who need that support and protection, because they are the people too. It's their children, it's their families. We're all the same. We're all from the divine consciousness. And once that process begins, and I am starting to see that process beginning, there's a wonderful man. I've never met him. I've only seen him online. A man called Mark Sexton. He's a retired police constable, and he is doing wonderful work in trying to wake up those people who we need on our side right now. And I believe he will be in London tomorrow, the 19th. That was the last report that I heard, and I'm not sure about that, but we've got to go with what we've got to do. So it doesn't matter, folks, if you're not connecting with spirit. Well, we are, even though we don't realise it. But people like Mark Sexton, people like Mark Devlin, Rainer Fulmich, Dolores Carhill, all these people all over the world speaking out. And another amazing interview between Rainer Fulmich and Dr. David Martin. You've got to check that out, folks. That is seriously, seriously amazing. Irrefutable evidence, as far as I'm aware. But you've got to check that interview out, that little discussion, to know what I'm talking about. So, they said, they, being the collective consciousness, said that it will begin through legal process and the children. And we are now, in my field of vision, seeing that beginning. Because the whole system depends on the system. And we are beginning to see the system crumbling. We are constructive in creating a new world for ourselves. And whatever contribution we can give. Just give it. Peacefully, with compassion, with love, and kindness. Because that, folks, is the new system, the new world, the new earth, the true earth. So I just wanted to share that with you, folks, and hopefully I'll try and keep away from fighting with banisters, and let's keep moving forward. Let's try and put our differences aside. And when those people need that healing, and again, that's already started happening, it's going to increase. The need for numbers of healers needs to increase exponentially to be able to deal with the healing that is going to be required in this world. We are all here, champing at the bit, waiting to fulfill our tasks. Patience, a little while longer, but please keep seeing the signs. Keep seeing the signs. Number sequences going off the scale for me. New number sequences, 2020s, 0808, the usual 11s, and Schumann resonance is going off the scale. The energies are quite amazing. And just understand, if we see this manifest in our lifetimes, folks, I'm sure some of you will. I'm knocking on a bit now. But if we see this, we will say, well, we were there. We were there. We witnessed this. And I'm very convinced that that is part of the reason we were born in the times that we were born, to be witness to this. To know that these times will never come again. The times that we've lived in for eons on the earth will never be seen again. We are better than this. We are better than this. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. You're all amazing. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And drop us a comment, drop us a like, just to let us know that you're out there, that we're connecting, that we're still speaking that same language, that we're still all moving forward. And check out some of those people that I've mentioned, and hopefully see you again very soon. Have a wonderful week ahead, month ahead, year ahead, life ahead. They say living the dream. Well, depending on our perception, folks, we are living the dream. But let's make that dream amazing. Okay. See you soon. Love and light to every one of you. Thank you.